Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of Traders Talk Time. In today's episode, we have a special guest, the Rebel, who is specialized in trading penny stocks, options, with a focus on the range breakouts, what exactly it will go. He cares about the charts a lot, like a breaking points and lot of analysis behind the stocks. And his insights and the strategies are really great. So we are welcoming the Rebel to our podcast, episode 4. Let's diving into the world of penny stocks and options with the Rebel. Hey, Rebel, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, Traders Hub? It's really great to be here. I'm doing great.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks for joining us, really. So I hope our listeners will get a lot of insights from you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely a blessing to be here.
Yeah, cool. So can you share your trading journey and what you learn to keep your money safe and how it grows like that? Just a quick introduction for our listeners.
Okay, I had a pretty long trading journey. Maybe I've been doing this for about 5 years, and in the 5 years, the first maybe 3 or 4 was just getting my feet wet. I wasn't too familiar with what I was doing, so I would say it was a bit of gambling, right? But when I really started to learn the technical analysis, I joined up with Discord. Um, and once I was in there, shout out to Alpha Trader, learning the things that he was teaching. I was able to lock in even more. So I've been trading seriously and smartly for about a year. And I will say that the journey is tough because, I will say I'm an experiential learner. So I have to learn by experience. I have to take these trades. I have to do it with real money. Sometimes, paper trade, but for me, it's always I'm an experiential learner, and that's how I learn. So I have taken losses, but once I got a hold of the technical analysis and what I should be looking for, that's when I started to become very profitable. I should also say that risk management is definitely a key because once you make your profits, you need to learn how to protect that, right? So that is something that is key, and a lot of that comes down to mental health. A lot of that comes down to greed. A lot of that comes down to mindset and discipline. So that's just like a little bit of my background into how I started trading and my journey and where I'm at now.
Wow, that's a great journey. Yeah, thanks for sharing with our listeners. So yeah, cool. So what about common mistakes? Like as a new trader, like when you or me started this journey with the trading, so what are the common mistakes you identify in the trading journey and how to avoid those mistakes? Any suggestions or the recommendations for our listeners?
Definitely. So common mistake number one is not taking your profit when you're up. That's a big mistake because people always want more. So that's like one of the biggest things to master, which is greed. So if you can master not being greedy and master being very grateful for every gain that you make, even if it's $5, $10, $15, $20, because if you make $5, $10, $15 a trade, a couple trades adds up, and um if you are consistently doing that and consistently, making trades where you do see profit, whether the trade goes red eventually, but you do see profit at some point, that means eventually you'll be able to do that with a larger amount of money and earn more profit. So that $15 may turn into $150 one day, and you may make that in a blink of an eye. So that is one thing to avoid as a beginner is to not take profit when you are up. So, sometimes people see 5% profit and they think that's like, oh no, I want to get 50%, I want to get 100%, and 5% is great. I believe you were actually saying this the other day that if you make 5% a day and you're trading, 20 days in a month, 5% a day will double your capital every month. Every month you'll double your capital, 5% a day. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is a big thing. So that's number one, I would say keep in mind for beginners. Number two, a lot of people, especially when they're trading options, they're trying to buy the top, sell the bottom. Or well, buy the top. You get it. They're trying to find the top and find the bottom. And they're
Mhm.
you know they're buying puts where they think the top is, and they're buying bottoms where they're buying calls where they think the bottom is. And what happens a lot of times is that the stock goes the other way, and then they keep buying more and more and more and more, just keep trying to average into their position. And then before you know it, like for instance, last week, SPY blew, right? The week before last, and Nvidia, all that. They just kept pushing through all these resistance levels. And if you were buying puts at these resistance levels, you were getting burned. Anybody who was trying to short the market last week was pretty getting burnt, you know? Um, and so that is one mistake I would say to avoid. I will say that yes, it is a strategy to trade the top and to trade the bottom. Yes. But you have to look for those things. You have to let the range play out. You have to find the range. And if it doesn't go your way, you need to know how to cut your losses, which brings me to uh, my third thing that the biggest mistakes beginners make is that they don't know when to cut their losses. They think, oh, I'm gonna hold it till it goes back to where I bought it at, or I make more money. If you are down a certain percent in a trade, it is better to cut your losses and reassess. Yes, there's a possibility that you cut your loss and then the trade goes the other way and you could have made profit, right? Cool, that happens. But here's what you can do in that situation. You can find the break. If it does go the other way, you can still get that. You can still catch a little bit of that move. You may not get all that profit, but you can still catch the move. So that is my third thing. I would say, the biggest mistakes that beginners make is not knowing when to cut their losses. And a good rule of thumb is to cut your losses somewhere around 5%. 5 to 10%, you want to be out of there, because even by the time it gets to 10%, it can start looking really, really ugly. You know, so you
Mhm.
know, think about it this way: 10% on $10,000 is $1,000. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
yeah,
Mhm.
5%, that's $500, right? In a blink
Yeah.
of an eye. So you need to know how to manage your position. And that's one of the that's what I could say is one of the biggest mistakes that beginners make. So I gave you three things right there, being, fighting greed, um, trying to buy the top and sell,
Mhm.
buy the bottom, sell the top, whatever you want to call it. And then also not
Taking
knowing when to
losses.
cut, yeah, not knowing when to cut a loss.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. Even I connected while you're talking. Maybe not just me, like lot of us, and the beginners in the beginning career of the trading, we always do this, right? So how I connected with you is like some other stock, like MRIN or something. I
Yeah.
got that guy, and then I keep on looking at that guy on stock twist, especially like guys don't believe the stock twist. It's a too greedy, too comments like that. So I bought it like $3 or somewhere, and it went almost like a $25. So I should
Ooh.
take that profit, right?
Yeah,
In stock
yeah.
in stock twist, I keep seeing like oh, this goes like $100, $200. Be there, diamond hand, keep hold like that. I said like okay, let me hold. It
Yep.
went back to like 20 cents or 30 cents, look
Oh my
almost.
goodness.
Yeah.
No.
So.
Yeah, no, I definitely, oh man, trust me, there's been
Uh,
times I've been up $1,000,
uh-huh.
and within 10, 15 minutes, I am down 1,000, down 1,500, right? Because I didn't take
Yeah.
the profits, you understand? And so
Yeah.
what I'm saying about taking profits is not just saying it, because I see people do it. I myself definitely have experienced it. So from that experience, what I can say is we have to learn to fight our greed as traders, because this is a I don't know whether to call it a profession,
Hmm.
this is a
Discipline.
this is a discipline in
Mhm.
where you can make a lot of money in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And when you see those type of numbers, you tend to get some dopamine hits and you're on a high. You're like, oh my God, it could go higher. Oh my goodness, right? You're all euphoric and everything instead of selling and taking your profit.
Yeah.
So that
Mhm.
is yeah, yes, which
Yeah.
what I would say would lead to, another strategy, which is to compound your gains.
Exactly. Yes, yes, yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you on all 3 points. As a beginners, everyone should follow those 3 points. And we should be in a discipline. Once we started to be in a discipline, automatically the success will comes to you. And consistency is more important than anything. While I'm talking this, or else while I'm going through these points, I got one point to say about the rebel. So he always do a lot of challenges. Like he start with $1,000 account, and in a 30 days or 20 days, he will show us like almost $10,000 or a crazy because of the consistency. He don't care like 100% at one time, or he don't want to be a millionaire in a one day. He always maintain the consistency. Can you talk about that, Rebel? Like you do a lot of challenges, 1 to 10,000 accounts. That's crazy, really. That's inspired me a lot.
Thank you. I actually but when I started my journey this year, yeah, there was a week where I just made $10,000 in a week. I went from 1,000 to like 4 or 5,000 in one day. Um, from that, I traded some options, and then before you know it, my account was at like 10,000. And so when I saw that was possible, I kept wanting to do more challenges, because the boom, I could put that $10,000 away, I could take another $1,000 and I could try to do something with that. I will say though, when you have a lot of capital, you start getting a bit more riskier, right? And that's something I would recommend that you fight against. Don't take bigger risk just because you have more capital to spend or to lose or whatever. So yeah, my thing now is just like you said, little gains. I'm not looking for 100% moves. I'm not looking for 200%, 300%. Cool. I got
Mhm.
lucky one day and I played the hell out of Spy, man. I tell you, I played some zero DTEs. Those are same day contracts. And I went heavy on one and it paid off because of the studying I've been doing, reading the charts and such. But I will say those moves are very hard to come by. You have to really, really, really be on it. It's a risky play, put it that way. It was a very risky play at the time, and it's not something that I would do on the regular with $1,000. Maybe 20, maybe 100, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
but you have to really, really manage your positions, and that is the thing that is the most important. When I right now when I trade, I'm just looking for $20 trades. I'm looking for $30. 30, $40 is a lot to me these days. You understand? So when I see
I got
something
you.
like, yeah, bro, when I see something like $200 in a trade, $150 in a trade, I'm
Mhm.
telling you, man, it feels like I hit a jackpot, right?
Yeah.
And that is the type of mindset and attitude that I would definitely tell people to have. I mean, I definitely know some people are trading with, huge accounts. They got hundreds of thousands of dollars and shit.
Mhm.
So when you're trading with hundreds of thousands of dollars, of course you're gonna want like $1,000, you 2,000 here, whatever on your trade, right?
Mhm.
But for say up and comer like me or anybody else out there who's just like a regular guy with a 9 to 5 and just trying to turn trading into, trying to make a living off of trading or just put yourself in a different um financial bracket, you want to make sure you're compounding the small gains because those add up. And I cannot stress that enough. $15 trade, $20 trade, another 15, $7 trade, $40 trade. That's almost $100 right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of, you know, okay, let me stay in this one trade or put a big position, I should say, in one trade and hope it does something, or not even hope. Just you're opening up yourself to more risk. You understand? So,
I got you.
if you say you have $5,000 to trade
Mhm.
with in a day, you're better off taking little trades for 200, three hundred
Mhm.
dollars, 150, 400, instead of saying, oh, okay, I'm gonna put 2,000 here on a trade. Why? Because now when the trade goes the other way, or if it does possibly go the other way, if it goes 5% down and you put 2,000 in there, now you're
Mhm.
what? You're $400 down. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yes, yes,
So
yeah.
it doesn't make sense for in my experience to get to put big money on the line if you don't have that sort of capital. If you're not trading with $100,000, $200,000, you know, there's no
Mhm.
need to put up your whole account or half your account on a trade. Best
Yeah,
thing you really want to manage your positions. And so that's how I would say. So that's these challenges. That's why I take them now. The challenges keep me disciplined, whether I make it or if I don't. $10,000 in 30 days. Obviously, that is a that's a lot, but I try to do it. Because you give yourself big goals, and even if you fall short, maybe you may not fall short by a lot, and even if you do, you still make money. And so even if this $10,000 journey takes me another month or two or whatever the case is, I know that I'm consistently following my discipline. I'm consistently making money. Really and truthfully, on an average, when I'm hitting trades, you can easily make anywhere from $500 to $2,000 a week off of $1,000 if you do it, consistently and well. So you so yeah, that is my advice to people: not to overtrade, not to over leverage yourself, not to, open yourself up to unnecessary risk, as people would say. Um, and unnecessary risk is, okay, look, you have $1,000, right? You use that $1,000 and somehow you end up with two, three, 4,000, right?
right.
Why not take that two, three, $4,000 out or whatever you have, put it in your bank account, put it in your
Mhm.
savings, let that compound, or even put it in a long-term stock.
Yeah,
Some people have their longs, Apple, Tesla, Bitcoin, whatever it may be for you. You put it in your long-term savings account and you leave it there. And then you go back to trading with your original $1,000 that you had before, right? Because if you made that couple $1,000 off of that one, that means you can do it again, you know?
yeah, yeah.
So that's a way to, a way to save your money and keep perspective in this. Um, Everybody has different goals, but what I'm telling people right now is how to save your money and compound your gains and make sure that you hold on to it. Because sure, you can keep all that money in your trading account. You can keep trying to build your account up to 10,000, 20,000, but it doesn't make any sense if you're not taking any of your profits. What sense does it make to have the big account
Mhm.
if you're just going to keep risking all the money? At some point, you should be telling yourself, okay, I need to start taking out money to save for my future, for my family, for whatever the case is. So that's something I definitely, preach and practice.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I totally agree with your points. I see like a lot of people blowing up their accounts in one bad trade. As you mentioned, they start their journey with $1,000 somewhere, and it will reach somewhere around 6,000 or 7,000. And what they think about is like if somewhere they got alert, for example, say this like a AMC or some other random things. So they keep everything in that, like a 6,000 or 5,000, whatever the gains they got till that date. So they will keep everything in a one shot, one stock, and they pray for the luck.
Oh,
Finally, it blow up and done. Boom, nothing. They lost everything. So I keep saying for my followers and everyone, don't keep everything in one stock or one shot.
like
No, never.
that's also true. You should definitely diversify. you
Mhm.
know if you are going to if you have a bunch of money and you want to save it and you want to see it build, yeah, I totally agree with you. You don't want to just put that in one stock and leave it to the mercy of one company, right? Because you could buy Apple right now at what 190, and then Apple drops down to 150,
Mm.
140, and
Right,
what or do you have
right,
more? You don't have any more money now to average down or buy more because you don't put out your whole account in Apple, right?
right, right.
So so yeah, you want to, like you said, you want to diversify, and the best way to diversify is to diversify across sectors. So people need to learn what sectors are. You
Mhm.
got the agriculture, you got technology, you got information, now you have semiconductors, AI. So you want to diversify. Obviously, there's gold,
Mhm.
but yeah, you get a little bit of Apple, you get a little bit of Tesla, you get a little bit of maybe Nvidia, maybe some AMD, maybe some gold. Um, maybe you even want to go long on a strong penny stock, but if you go long on a penny stock, you
Yeah,
really, really want to manage that position. You don't want to, oh, I'm about to put my whole life savings in here. You probably
yeah,
like maybe a percent, you know, and
yeah,
that's really it. But
yeah. There is
yeah,
no diamond hands.
exactly. Exactly. I would say that Diamond Hand stuff, all that stuff you guys hear, all the Wall Street bet stuff, GameStop, AMC, that was just something that happened, once. Listen, guys, like to be honest, you'll see squeezes on the market every day. Every day there's some stock squeezing, there's some penny going crazy, doing 300, 400, 500%, 1,000%. I've seen things go from like, $1 to $30 in a blink of an eye. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So guys, it's just a big deal because it was AMC and GameStop, and they shorted out a bunch of hedge funds and such, right? But
Mhm.
but the thing was, the thing is, people, if you're not familiar with trading or you're not familiar with the market, you may FOMO into something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
So till this day, people are still buying GameStop and AMC, waiting for
Yeah.
it to blast off again. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Totally.
yeah,
Yeah.
no
Last week.
diamond.
Yeah. No diamond. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say no diamond hands, guys, because you see profit, take profit. There's no reason to hold it unless you're trying to invest in Apple for the next 10 years or something like that. There's no reason to hold a stock if you're just doing it to see a certain amount of gains.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. And even in the last week, if you remember, like we got alert on one stock, $23. And that $23 went almost like a $547, almost like a 7,000%. And you didn't imagine, like a couple of people are texting me in a private, like a DM, hey, can I hold this? Can this go like $1,000 tomorrow? Can this go $200 tomorrow? I said, no, guys, no, no, take the profits.
Right, right,
Yeah, right.
like that. Yeah, so that's a thing people don't do. They don't take profits because they're like, oh, they have
Yeah,
FOMO.
exactly.
FOMO kills a lot of gains. FOMO will kill your gains from greed because you think you're gonna miss out on more
Uh-huh.
gains. You already
Right,
made gains, and you're like, oh, I could make $30 more. Like,
right.
but
Yeah.
but so that's FOMO, and then the FOMO, the other way it kills you is you buy at the top.
Exactly. Yeah. At the moment I mentioned, like before closing the market, I gave the alert. Hey guys, take the profit. So can you imagine what happened after market close? Same
Uh-huh.
$500 stock went into $40.
Mm.
Yeah, same one within a seconds.
In
So guys,
seconds,
take a
gone.
profit. Yeah.
Yeah, take the profit, guys. Take it. Know when to cut.
Yeah, exactly. So I like the way you mentioned before, like always split your investments in the different things, take the profit and do long-term investments. those things I really I'm the big follower of you on this kind of stuff, so everyone need that. Even what I do is like I maintain one day trading account and I maintain a recurring account. So that recurring account I do like a every day example. I will say like a $25 on a spike, $25 on a QQQ, and a couple of Apple on a $50, PayPal $30 or something like that. Every day it keep like a recurring. So what I maintain is maintain one account for the day trading options, all the things you can do, whatever, what you can risk, maintain one account, and other one should be like a long term. Don't play everything in a risk. Never, ever.
I completely agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Um, that is I will say I'm a bit new to long-term investing, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I well, when I first started getting involved in the stock market, that's what I was doing, long-term investing, because I didn't know about options trading, right?
Hmm.
But when I started to trade options, because I still have a fairly small account, compared to 90% of the market, you know what I mean? Like I have a
Yeah, yeah,
very small account, if you're trading with guys, if you're trading with a couple $1,000s, trust me, your account is small. Even if you're trading with $15,000, your account is small, right?
yeah, yeah.
So so with that said, I am I'm new to this because I'm trying to build capital, right?
Hmm.
But with that said, as my capital is building and as I'm wanting to preserve profits, I'm looking more into long term. What can I buy? I
Hmm.
will say, I was looking, when the market was getting crushed. Apple was like around 160, Tesla was around 200, 190s. Those were like, say, for example, opportunities I would be looking for, a big pullback on the market to start buying those, average
Hmm.
catching Tesla, Apples, the Nvidias at some prices where I feel like, would be great because, I don't want to get these things too high. I don't want to
Right.
get them too high. And I am not in any rush. I'm not in a rush to trade. I am not in a rush to buy stocks. I'm not in a rush to, you know, buy options. To like you
Yeah.
were saying earlier, you want to be able to take breaks from trading.
Hmm.
Trading should be a tool to give you freedom, right?
Right.
So you don't want to, oh, the market's open, oh, it's 9:25, the market's up, well, you're in there as soon as it opens, like a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of people do that, and including myself. I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I'm like, oh snap, guys, it's 7 o'clock, here we go. you know you
Yeah.
know yeah, because like, I'm looking for opportunities. I'm looking for, like, sometimes in early mornings, what I'm looking for is the dips on the penny stocks. So, dip or rise on the penny stocks. Those are sometimes the best times to pick up some dips on pennies,
Hmm.
pre-market,
Hmm.
But but I will say that the way the way you will want to do this to maintain good mental health and a good healthy relationship with this, especially with other people and such, you kind of don't want this to take you over. You want to be able to be like, okay, I'm not trading today, and be completely fine. You want to be able to you make a good amount of profit, put it, take a break for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, you know.
Yeah.
So what is great about trading is that you learn these skills and you'll always have it with you. So you'll be able to be like, okay, I can take a break. The market's not going anywhere, guys. Trust me, it's not going anywhere. Every day it's gonna move. Okay, guys. If you don't get the puts today for whatever, trust me, you'll have another opportunity next week, next month. Every day stocks are moving. So that's something that people should tell themselves to combat any FOMO they may have, or any sort of impulse in trading, So I would definitely say, make, like, for me, this provides me much freedom. I'm mainly a musician and I'm mainly a educator. I work with a nonprofit and I teach kids how to produce music, make podcasts and things. And I myself am a music producer and an artist. I also have my master's in education, social studies. So um, I do have other things going on, but
Wow,
I
lot of hats.
yeah, very much so. But
Yeah.
entrepreneur type of mindset. But
Uh-huh.
with that said, the financial freedom that trading can provide for you can definitely be a tool to help you with other things. So, like for example, the money I made from doing this, I'm able to just kind of kick back and relax now. Kick back, relax, make some music, work on other things. I'm not thinking about, oh man, I got bills to pay. Oh man,
Mhm.
I gotta go do this 9 to 5. Oh man, I definitely gotta go get this interview. And I'm not saying that like God for maybe I may end up with a job, right? Yeah, I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
You can have many people have jobs and still trade, and I'm talking about really good paying jobs. Like there's nothing wrong with having a job in trading. What I'm just saying personally for myself is that for me, I don't necessarily have to look for another 9 to 5. I do have a job, like I said. I do work with a nonprofit, but the money that trading provides me almost like puts me in a different tax bracket. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I totally got you. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good to have that freedom, guys. And I would
Mhm.
say make sure you handle your emotions very well and you take care of your mental health because yeah, trading it should definitely do that to you guys. you know,
Yeah.
um once again, I'm speaking from experience. When it comes to mental health, right, and taking care
Yeah.
of yourself. Um, there's a time when I was making my come up. I was swinging options, right?
Mhm.
Guys, swinging options is you
Mental
know
pressure.
a lot of mental pressure. You
Yeah.
sometimes you don't even sleep sometimes because you're you're like you're checking the news articles and what's going on with the sector that you're looking at. And you're hoping something pops your way, right? At
Yeah.
the time, I was I was swinging Chinese stocks, so I
Oh
was
my
swinging.
God.
So I'm
Baba?
definitely up. Yeah, Bob. You're is everybody in Baba swings? That's what's going on. With that said,
Yeah.
I will say Baba's at some levels that I'm liking right now.
Mhm.
I might be inclined to take a Baba swing from here, but but I will say this though, Baba, the way it was when I was swinging that, yes, it was very very nerve wracking, guys, super nerve wracking, I should say,
Yeah.
because even though I wasn't all in, right? I did have heavy positions, but I wasn't all in. It was still crazy because I would be up waiting for the Hang Seng to open,
Mhm.
and then they open, I believe, 10,
Yeah.
10 Eastern Standard Time, so 10 o'clock New York time is when the Chinese stock market opens. So as soon as they open, I'm on it. I'm just looking at what they're doing, what's going on, if it's going up, if it's going down, what's going on with Baba. Baba has a Chinese stock too, so I'm looking at that. I'm trying to do the conversions of what that's going to convert to the it's to the American
Yeah.
Baba stock. So anyway, guys, I'm just saying. So sometimes the next day it would go down, and I'm like, oh my god, right? I
Mhm.
wake up, I'd be down X amount of percent, and I'm like, oh man, I guess I'm gonna buy the dip, right?
Right. Right.
because unlike day trading, guys, when I'm telling you to cut your positions and such, when you're swing trading, you buy the dips. um,
But
you
you need money for that. Don't keep everything in a one shot and wait for the money to buy the tips.
precisely,
Yeah.
Precisely. You can't just go all in because that's what happens. It dips down and then you're like, oh my God, I don't have any more money to buy the dips.
Yeah.
You know?
Obviously.
So, so you have to be careful and
Yeah.
also you do need to know when to cut, even on a swing, you know.
Right. Right.
Sometimes swings don't go your way,
Mhm.
but fortunately Baba held its support very well. um, um,
Yeah.
I bought the dips up. I swung the trade. I think I was swinging for like a week.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I'm telling you, that week it was
Craziest one.
yeah, it was crazy, guys. So with that
Yeah.
said, swinging options is not my favorite thing to do. It is at the bottom of my list. It can be very, very profitable,
Uh-huh.
but going forward, if I was to do it again, it would be a very small position, like these Baba
Hmm.
calls that I'm talking about, because I like Baba
Hmm.
around here, $81, $80. It just filled a gap, you know.
Hmm.
I don't think it has any more gaps down, so I'm feeling pretty good about picking Baba up if it stays at these 81, $80 and getting calls for like $85 December calls, maybe January calls for $85. Um, so those are the things that I'm looking at because to me, that's a safe trade, guys. You know, that's a quality trade to me. I'm seeing it at certain support levels. I saw that it filled its gaps down. I'm not seeing any more gaps down. I know Baba from historical, points. It probably it might if it dips to 79, 78, even 77, it make its way back up. But for example, if it goes under 77, I may be inclined to sell, right? I mean,
Yeah.
77 is a big drop from 80 to be honest, if we're talking options. But
Right.
but that's where I might be inclined to, okay, I'm gonna cut it here. 70, because under $77, because I know my like historical support for Baba, under $77 is probably gonna drop to 70, 73, 72s. So I'm probably going to cut it and then look to pick it up around those 72 levels, 71, 73, you know?
Hmm.
So that's how I would play a swing on options, I will say that though, you have to have a stomach of steel. You have to make sure that you're not over leveraging yourself.
Yeah.
Um, pennies for
Do.
me, yeah. I was just gonna say pennies for me
Hmm.
is way, way more manageable than
Hmm.
trading than swinging options. So that's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Everyone has their own strategies, own things. Maybe someone will good at options, someone will good at pennies, and people keep on juggling with the things. So whatever guys good for you, and whatever the charts looks good for you. And other thing is, depend on your own education. Look into the charts, look into the things, what strategy fits for you, all those things. So follow your own stuff will help you a lot. And Rebel, so the final words about Traders Hub Ninja, you know that like we keep on being in the same server, and you're watching our alerts, crazy things, and we show you our website as well, like what we are doing. So we mentioned you our target is like a one subscription, one cancellation is our target. So any words or any excitement, any feedback about the Traders Hub Ninja to our listeners?
I definitely have great feedback for that because it is just all in one. You have your break points, you have your resistance levels, your support levels, you have indicators, which I think are actually pretty cool because the fact that you can make your own indicators and then add them to trading view is really cool, and it's something that I would definitely recommend because that's usually we just have 20 EMA, 60 EMA, 200 EMA. Some people use the 13 and 48, you know but
Yeah.
when you have something that is tested and proven, that is
Mhm.
and that is your own custom thing, that is a big, great tool to have, guys. And I will say that. Um, Also, just knowing the support levels and having this education because they educate you on how to trade and what to trade and how to manage your positions. Right? This isn't just some buy now, buy now, buy now, sell now, sell now, sell now, because guys,
Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth, that will never work.
Yeah. Yeah.
like like
So people will think is a freedom, trading is a freedom, and they are depending upon someone else, like a buy, sell, like that. No, no, no,
yeah,
guys,
no,
educate
no, no.
yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Educate yourself. Learn this because if you're just looking for somebody to simply tell you buy, sell, that means you're not learning anything. You're just following what the next person tells you, right? And
Right.
so, the saying goes, teach a person to give a person a fish, you feed them for a day. Teach a person to fish, you feed them for a lifetime, right? So you want to learn how to fish. You want to learn to go fishing for yourself so you can feed yourself. You don't want somebody having to give you a fish all the time because what if that person is not there to give you a fish, right? What are you going to do
Exactly.
then?
Exactly.
So
Yes.
that is why Traders Hub is really really great. Also, guys, I do need to say that like they give out some really good um watch list. I believe the other day, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, you guys gave out INS,
Yes.
and
Yeah, we did.
that thing
Mm,
went
yeah.
crazy. So guys, I would definitely, you need to you need to I'm not saying to depend on everything, but I'm saying this is a great tool. As a trader, I can personally say this is a great tool to use, and it's something that I myself am definitely uh using. I will be using and using in the future, and it's something that I feel like is definitely it's a big tool that you don't see a lot out there, because you may have to join so many different things to get so much different information, and you have like 10 subscriptions, you're in 10 discords, and you got all sorts of things going on, but no, right here you got everything all in one, so I think it's a really great thing to have. I think it's a great tool, and I think Traders Hub is it's something that is a blessing in disguise, and I think once people it's more like it's like a hidden gem.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that feedback.
Yeah, no problem, because I do feel like it's great, even if you're a beginner, you could get in there, you could paper trade, you could learn how to find levels, you could practice before you actually do the real thing. So it's almost like a video game, guys. Like I know there's a lot of young people out there, right? A lot of people my age. I'm 33, right? So
Right.
a
Right.
lot of people born in the 80s, 70s, 90s, right? A lot of
Uh-huh.
that, right? And I
Right.
know a lot of us coming up, we played video games, right? We love
Right.
them.
Yeah.
NES, Nintendo, Sega Genesis, all that stuff, right? So if you are a person with that sort of mindset, you like video games, right? And I'm hoping there's people listening to this who get what I'm saying, and like video
Yeah.
games as much as I do, right? Coming up on Sega
Yeah.
Genesis and Nintendo, PlayStation, things like that. If you have that sort of gamer mind, which I believe is a very analytical mind, you could problem solve really well if you're good at video games. You can learn to play this game, which is the market. All right. You can learn
Right.
the trading, you can learn the break levels, you can learn technical analysis, and you don't even have to do it with real money. So you can actually treat it like a video game, trade with, paper money, fake money. You could do it on Traders Hub, you paper trade. And then when you get really good at this game, right?
Mhm.
And you get really good at this game, and you're like, oh man, I'm killing this game. I'm really good. Then you can start trading with real money, and then you'll crush it. So
Yep.
that's for all my gamers out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally like. I got your compassion. Even I'm the big gamer. Like I have a Nintendo, I have a PS5, I have Xbox, everything. So
Okay,
yeah, I
you know,
enjoy this.
so you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying exactly.
I totally got you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So and that's how I look at this. I look at it as a video game, guys, and
Mhm.
that's like if you guys relate to me, you guys are gamers, that's like one of the best advice I could give, to look at
Yeah.
this like a video game.
Yeah. Join Traders Hub Ninja.
Yes, yes. Join Trader Hub Ninja and play that video game, Trader Hub Ninja.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Wow, this was amazing podcast. So this doesn't look like a podcast, or else we are doing the interview. It's like a normal talk, like it just two friends are talking between each other. This is very great and making me more comfortable, Rebel. Hope I will see you again and again and again in the podcast in the next sessions as well.
Definitely, definitely. Hopefully by the end of the year, I would
Uh-huh.
hit that 10K.
Yeah.
So right now I will say the $1,000 account. I'm gonna keep it real. It's at 700 right now. Took some bad trades, but I cut my
Mhm.
losses, guys. See, I'm not all the way down.
Yeah.
um, but but going forward, I would really like to be back. We'll see where I'll be at the end of the year. I can give you guys a better update. So it's from 700 to let's see where we're at the end of the year.
Okay. So let's do podcast once you hit the target.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's rock it. Cool. Thanks, Rebel. Thanks for joining us tonight. And yeah, hope everything is goes good with you and with your trades. Thank you so much once again for joining us.
Thank you, thank you. Shout out to Traders Hub Ninja, guys.
Yep. See